Okay, how's it going, guys? This is going to be different. I'm actually going to be cooking a meal, so I'm going to be showing you guys what I'm going to be using and what I'm preparing and what I'm going to make. And if I'm on long enough, I'm going to freaking show you what it is that came out at the end product. Hey, how's it going, Coach? How's it going, Tony? How you guys doing, man? So obviously having a couple beers and gonna get started on getting everything ready. Gonna start preparing. I'm gonna show you what it is I'm gonna be using first. I don't have any freaking music going because I left my speaker at home. Yeah. Well, I actually left it at work. Okay, so we got bacon. Obviously, bacon is life. Got one red pepper, one green pepper, one orange pepper, a can of whipping, or a container of whipping cream. Well, thanks, buddy. I appreciate that. Some potatoes, because we're going to be doing scalloped potatoes. And oh yeah. And what I'm going to be doing, need 2 chicken breasts. So first I have to pre-cook these a bit, or I got to pre-cook the bacon a little bit. So I am gonna prepare all my peppers first, cut those up, and that way, oh yeah. Because these onions are itty bitty, I'll be using 3. Now I'm only doing this because I've never showed anybody how I'm gonna be cooking. Everyone's always told me that maybe I should do a cooking stream because for one, I freaking barbecue a lot. I'm considered to be a pit master. I am an actual, not a professional cook, but I do enjoy it. So I'm going to be doing that. So I'm going to be preparing everything and you guys can watch. And this is a different kind of a stream, so I figured, hell, why not, right? So I am going to face the camera down towards my chopping board. And you guys can check that out and watch what I do as I do it. I'll probably ask my woman if she can peel me my potatoes because I got a lot of chopping and other things to do. Can you do that? Whatever. So it don't matter what size saucepan you use or frying pan, whatever you want to call it. This is just going to be for, you know, pre-cooking bacon. I'm going to do that first. That way I can use the bacon grease to cook the chicken in, pre-cook that. And then I can finish mincing it and then make it all freaking yummy and good to go. Live on YouTube, yes sir, live on YouTube. This is Toodun's cooking show. So So let's just get started on that. Make sure I got my knives, my garbage stuff. Where's my knife? Here's my knife. This is my trusty knife. I love this knife. I cut everything with it. So we are going to do that first, but I'm going to point the chopping or the camera down at the chopping board. That way you guys know what size I'm chopping everything. And yeah, let's get it started. Bacon first, of course. We're going to use half a pack of bacon, which is basically a full pack. So I am now going to turn the camera this way. Yeah, but I don't think I want to do that right now because I'll get copywritten. I actually want this video to stick around. So half a pack of bacon is roughly about that many. So there we go. I'm going to chop this first and then we'll just get started like that. I figure it's a little bit of a change. I haven't done this before, so my son's cartoons are playing in the background and I hope I don't get copywritten for that, which YouTube probably will. Probably will. YouTube is like the copyright machine of the century. So I mean, like if it does, I'm not sure. Maybe I can't monetize anyways, so I don't know what the point of that would be. So this is about the rough size you want to make your bacon. Just, you know, just little pieces and stuff. So I'm gonna put that in a frying pan and turn it on. Buffering. Nice. So, because I have to wait, I am gonna pre-cut the chicken. And of course you can see the size of the chicken. It's not too bad size for a chicken breast. Sometimes what I like to do is I like to rinse them off because sometimes they're a little bit slimy after you thaw them out, so I would just rinse them off for just because I can. Because after they're cut, you want the full flavor of the bacon to penetrate the chicken. So what I like to do is I just cut this way, pretty much fillet it. That way you got two decent sized pieces. And then because it's a breast, you want to fillet it again the opposite way. Like that. So, and then I just take it and I cut it again. And I am going to dice them pretty much. Nice and thin and small. That way I can sprinkle it all over the frickin' scalloped potatoes before they cook. That's probably about the size that you want it to be. And yeah, that's how it's going to go. Everybody has a different way of doing their things, but that's fine. I usually like to keep everything consistent. after I'm done this, I'm gonna grab a bowl. Just like a bowl like that so you can put your chicken into it. And then just cut the other one the same way. You want to try to make it as thin as you can, not too thin, but as thin as you can. That way the chicken will cook properly and it'll be properly cooked all the way through, and the flavor is going to be just all over the place with it. So it's basically kind of like almost about as thick as a cardboard when you fillet it. That's the way it should be. And then we just keep on doing the same thing with the next breast. See, I'm trying to do different things so people know that I don't just play games. I do other things. So I want to get my GoPro going so I can start uploading what I do at work, so everyone can see what it is that I do at work. I know a lot of times people aren't really interested in that, but you know, whatever. Now, because my chicken and my bacon are going to be pretty much the same, because I'm going to be adding them in at the same time, I'll probably end up just throwing the chicken in there right now, but I also have to season it. So I think maybe I'll do that first. And that way I can show you what kind of spices it is that I'm using. So you got a little bowl like that, so you actually got enough to do one pan of scalloped potatoes. Always make sure you wash your hands after every time you touch poultry and pork. For a minute. So this is what I got. I got Liam Parents, garlic powder. Because I'm using onions, I don't need onion powder. Well, basil and oregano, kind of going for that Italian flavor. Yeah, Daddy's cooking. Then we got some thyme, some sage, and some paprika for a little bit of fire. Not much. So just paprika, just want to sprinkle a little bit of generosity. Pretty much like a teaspoon. The sage, you don't want to do too much of that because it's really overpowering. So you just want to do a little bit of that. See, that's good enough. That's about half a teaspoon. Some thyme. You want to just give it probably about 6 shakes and you're good. Probably how many did you do? Let's see how that goes. And garlic salt, you can add as much garlic as you want because it's garlic. I like to be a little bit generous because it's garlic. And we got some basil, which is kind of like the same, you just want like about a teaspoon. that basil is overpowering. Any spice is overpowering if you use too much. And that's it. And then you just add your Liam parents. A few dabs. Oh wait, I forgot something. Oh no. And then you just get your hands dirty and you mix it up. That smells really good. So now you add this to the bacon. And that's how it should look. You just mix it up, because you want all that flavor to mix together with the bacon. Now remember, you only have to, if you do watch this and you want to try it, just make sure that you mix it consistently good enough before you turn the burner back on, and you want to only cook it halfway, because when you do your scalloped potatoes there's going to be lots of grease in it, but you can take that grease out and you can frickin' just eat it as it is. There, so properly mixed, that's what it should look like. So now I've got to rinse off my cutting board. Yeah, just like new. So now you want a larger bowl, and you want to be able to cut all your veggies, all your peppers, and you want to be able to put them in that bowl. Now you don't really have to wash your knife. I mean, like, I didn't have to wash my cutting board because it's all getting cooked together anyways. But I do like to make sure that there's no cross-contamination from point A to point B. Even though it's all going in the same dish, I'm still very cautious about that. So you just cut your peppers, small thin slices like that. Nice small little slivers, you know. Try to be as consistent as you possibly can, but you know, whatever, however thick you want them. You can even just do them in circles, and this is how I mince them up. Pretty much just dicing again. And yeah, that's the consistency you want. So you just take all the peppers and you put them in your bowl. Need a drink of beer. Same thing with your red pepper. Now you might think I'm crazy because I added paprika and I'm using a red pepper, and of course you ought to know that's how paprika is made, is pretty much with red peppers. But when you use fresh peppers, it adds the sweet flavor of the pepper into your dish. So it makes it taste even better. It's like, welcome to Flavor Town. So same thing, you want to just frickin' dice them up Just a little bit like that. Try not to get too many big pieces in there because you got to be able to spread everything at the same time. So just mix all your vegetables together. When it comes to cutting your onions, that doesn't really matter either. I'm going to put them all together anyways, and they're all going to be put into the same dish and cooked the same way. Same thing with the yellow. You want to cut them nice and thin. Not too thin, but thin enough. I would say about the width of a pencil, just about. Maybe a little bit smaller. I'd say about the preparation time is probably a good 30 minutes. So when you do your onions, this is how I do it. Just, of course, peel back the skin. You always got to peel off the 2 layers because the first layer is pretty much like another coat of skin. The second layer is kind of like rubber, and you don't really want to cook that up. No need to, because it's just, there's nothing really there. So you just got your onion, you just make your typical circles, cut them straight down. If you like onions, do them thick. If you don't, I mean, do them as thin as possible. I like onions, but I also like all the flavor to be mixed together. See, it's kind of like the kind of onions you get with burgers, maybe a little bit thinner, but that's pretty much like almost perfect way you want it. So you just put all those in with your peppers too. And because, like I said, I got small onions, I'm using 3 onions. I might have to use another one. We'll see where it goes from there, because you don't really want to have more of one thing than your primary thing, which is the potatoes. Try to be as clean as possible. I'm pretty messy sometimes. Oh, you almost lost my finger there. Oh, another thing too, you might want to separate your onions a little bit before you mix them all together, because like I said, they all got to be spread apart the same way. So if you put in a big chunk of onion, that big chunk of onion ain't going to cook properly, because you got layer upon layer upon layer. And you don't really want that, because unless you really like onions, you won't mind it. But the cooking part of it, you want it to be consistent and turn out really yummy and have the flavor spread everywhere instead of just one part. So now that I got it all separated, I just put it back in the bowl. I gotta stir the chicken. Bacon. And it is done. So it may not look like it, but you can tell that the chicken and the pork is half done. You can see all the juice coming down to the bottom of the pan. That's pretty much how you want it. It's up to you if you want to put the juice in there. I probably won't, because it'll just add more grease. So I'll probably let it settle to one side, and then wait. And when I've done my potatoes and I start putting everything together, I'll add it in. That's a lot of juice. That's a lot of juice. Right. How you doing? You're not watching me? I am a pretty messy cook, by the way, but at the end of it, it tastes really good. You don't really want to get any of the skin in there because the skin doesn't have no flavor. And it kind of sucks when it gets stuck to your teeth. So you just do the same thing, you separate it. Oh, really? Well, I'm drooling already. So there's your bowl, there's your onions, your peppers, everything. You can just go ahead and mix it all together. I like to do that because I want everything to be spread out even. And it's gonna, like I said, you want to be able to go to Flavor Town, you got to make sure all the flavors are mixed together. After all, you're not going to Flavor Town if all the flavors are in one spot. So that's really good. That's how you pretty much want it to look. So we'll set that aside. So now that we got all of that done, what we're gonna do is we're gonna oh, my eyes are crying. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna chop up potatoes. Yeah, it's smelling good, alright, buddy. What kind of chef knife is this? This is a German stainless steel. It's home trends. Hey, how's it going, Speedius? Chef Toodun, I feel like I'm watching South Park. Yeah, it's smelling pretty good, dude. So right now we got 6 potatoes. So we're gonna see how much that's gonna give us, because it's gonna be pretty hearty. So you just want to rinse them off a little bit after you cut them, of course. And this is a Veg-O-Matic. I don't know how many of you guys may have seen one of these or even heard of it. This thing is actually pretty old. And what it does is it has one of these and it cuts potato slices for you or any kind of veggies. Hey, that's, you know, works pretty good. So there we go, in a matter of seconds you got six potatoes nicely sliced, and I use that too to make homemade fries. So because we have so much now, just going to rinse them again, and I'm using hot water. Oops. Oh, can you put the bacon away? So I will show you now. Is my lid in there? Or just the other cap on? So here's my casserole dish. This is a dish I use for scalloped potatoes and bacon wrapped meatloaf. I don't think that's enough. Okay, so you remember this. What I like to do is that I am going to put a small portion on the bottom of the pan, just a sprinkle. Just a sprinkle. Okay, if you can see, it's just a sprinkle, it's a small coating on there. And then you take your mixed veggies like this, the ones that you chopped up already, and you just do the same thing. You put a small little portion on the bottom. And I just drop some on the computer. So, same thing, you know. When you take your spuds, you just, just lay them on top of it. How can you preheat the oven? 375. So you want to preheat your oven to 375. It's a good consistent temperature. It'll make sure that everything's cooked. So you got your first layer of stuff. You got your potatoes on. Then you grab some more of this good stuff. All the juice drained to the bottom, of course. I don't really want mine that greasy. And then you just sprinkle more. Now this is a completely new recipe. I've never seen this anywhere. So it's actually going to be pretty hearty. It's actually enough. Yeah. And then you just add more potatoes. This saucepan is about 8 by about 16, and it's probably about 3 inches deep. And you just finish off with your last little bit of potatoes. This saucepan takes 6 potatoes, regular size of russet potatoes. You can try with other potatoes, but I wouldn't recommend it. Russet's probably like the best potato for me. So there we go, we got that done. So we got our last little bit, and we're going to take that and we're just going to lightly sprinkle whatever's left. We're going to try to spread it out as best we can. Oh, can you put the peppers away too? Oh, hey, can I munch on them? Then of course our last little bit of vegetables. It don't really matter that there's only a little bit left because you got lots in there anyways. And then you take your cream . And because mine was frozen, it's going to be a little bit clumpy, so don't worry, it's just going to look a little awful, but that's the way it looks when it was after it's been frozen. And you just sprinkle the cream all over the top. Now sometimes you want to get your hands dirty and frickin' spread it out just a little bit, that way everything gets coated. That's what I like to do anyways. So there we go. So this is what it looks like. And right now I am going to sprinkle some pepper over it, just to add a little bit more of a kick. Normally I add cheese, but we don't have any. So regular peppercorn, you know, I got a grinder. This is a grinder, so this I'm just gonna put all over top of it like so. And there we go. That's how it should look. So make sure that you put your oven at 375 and frickin', well, it's got to be preheated, right? So make sure it's at 375. It has got to have a lid, so you just get that ready, and we are ready to go to Flavor Town. So it's going to take roughly about 45 minutes, 45 to 50 minutes. Normally I would push usually about 35 minutes, and probably around the last 15 minutes I'll take the lid off. That way that I can start frickin' toasting the top, and when the top is nice and toasted, it's ready to go. As soon as you got that nice little brown that start developing on the top, it's good. You don't want to overcook it. Well, you can if you want. Depends how crispy you like your top layer. You can make it like almost the consistency of lasagna noodle after the top layer is nice and crunchy with the cheese on top. Perfect example. Or you can just cook it the full 45 minutes, 50 minutes with the lid on, and you can have it really soft and tender. So when you go take a bite, it just basically like melts in your mouth. So it just kind of turns into like mashed potatoes in your mouth as soon as you take one bite. But it's up to you. Just make sure that the chicken is cooked and the bacon is cooked. I always recommend when you're doing a dish like this, pre-cook it before you add it, because you don't want to mess around with salmonella, which just comes from the chicken if you get food poisoning, or you don't want to mess around with any kind of bacteria that comes from the pork if that's not cooked. So you want to make sure that your pork is cooked and your chicken is cooked. That's why I recommend you pre-cook your chicken and your bacon first. That way you get some of that grease out of the pork as well, and when you go to serve your dish, it's not going to be as greasy. It can be extremely greasy by the end of it when it's done, but that's okay. We have something for that. I'll show you that in just a minute, but right now I am going to put the dish over at the oven and get ready to slap that bad boy in. But for right now, I need to take a quick break, so I'll be right back. Okay, so if you heard that, you now know what seasonings went into the protein. What seasonings? I will show you, buddy. We have Liam Parents, okay? We have garlic powder. We have some thyme. It's pretty much like an Italian, pretty much Italian. We got sage, ground sage, paprika, basil, and we have oregano. And the top layer, of course, is the peppercorn. And using regular whipped cream out of a carton that you get from the store. So you want to be able to it's actually better if you use whipping cream because it gives it the consistency that it needs and it tastes really good. And not only that, it's just gonna it just tastes good. All these seasonings that I use these seasonings mainly in a lot of my dishes, but most of the other times I'll use a variety. It all depends on what my flavor is at that moment. So I'll have you guys watch me put it in the oven, of course. And make sure it's on the bottom rack, not the second one up. It's got to be on the very bottom for it to cook properly. Here we go. Flavor Town going in the oven right now. You want to make sure that you put it in the middle rack or right in the middle of the oven. That way all the heat surrounds it completely all the time. You want your cooking to turn out perfect. So now we are going to set the timer. Go for your timer and you want to put it on. I'm going to do mine for I'm doing mine for 35 minutes. So if I put the timer on for 35 minutes, I have an additional 15 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes for browning. I can take off the lid, check up on my cooking, make sure it's all cooking nice and pretty and everything, and then I'll take off the lid, let it brown for 10-15 minutes. I like to go about 15 minutes just to make sure that everything's cooked. And of course around the middle layer of it you'll notice that it's still a little bit crunchy, but if you let it sit for about another 5 minutes it'll continue to cook and then it'll rest and all that flavor will settle. And I'll show you what I'm going to use. Of course you know what one of these are. This is pretty much a baster, okay? I use this for when there's too much grease in a dish. I'll use this and I'll suck up all that grease and I'll pull it out and I'll dump it away because you don't want that grease. It's harmful to your heart, it's harmful to your arteries, it's harmful. So you don't really want to do that. And just so you know, do not use powdered pepper. Do not. It's not healthy for men, it's bad for their colons. Peppercorn is the only way to go. So keep that in mind, guys. Get peppercorn. Peppercorn only. So now all we got to do is we got to wait 33 minutes and then we'll find out how it's going to turn out. It's going to look really good. And of course, I can smell it already because all the seasonings that's inside of it when I, mix it all together in the beginning. So you're looking at about, I would say, just about 45 minutes of prep time just to get the dish in the oven. So it's probably around an hour and a half to about an hour and a half for you to get that sucker in the oven, and then no, about an hour and a half in total. So prep time and cooking, you're looking at about a good hour and a half. So that's not too bad. I mean, you can go faster, you can do it faster. It's completely up to you. It's based on how you want to do it. I take my time because I want to make sure everything's cut properly and I want to make sure that everything's seasoned properly. I mix everything right away. I make sure that it's mixed to the consistency that I want. I want to be able to dig into my food, have one bite of it, and get everything in one little bite. So this is actually a brand new recipe. It is a chicken and bacon scallop potatoes. So I'm not going to write the ingredients down in the description. Unless you watch this video, then you'll know. If you don't watch it, then you'll never know, because I'm not leaving my recipe in the description. Gotta see it to believe it. And if you want to check it out in the description, it's going to be blank anyways. So you can actually expect to see more of these like this. Rock had mentioned it to me before because I was barbecuing lots, and he always told me that I should stream it. And right now, I kind of agree with him. So whenever I do a big dish, to me this isn't really a big dish. This is actually maybe a mid-sized dish. That'll probably feed 4 people. Because it's me, my woman, and my kid. There's still going to be lots left over tomorrow. But when I do bigger things, like when I start doing my ribs, my steaks, or anything like that, I'll start streaming them and show everybody how it is that I do it, what my preparation is like, what my temperatures are on my stove. I don't go by thermometers. I just use the dial, and I go by what I hear, how it's cooking. And I always tell if it's going to be turning out really well is by my nose. I don't really have taste buds, so they got burned off like years ago from my cup of coffee, believe it or not. But I got like maybe about 10-15% of my taste in my mouth, so I can't taste it, so I go by my nose. My nose has been heightened with smell to an extreme amount, so if I smell something that's really bad, it actually makes me gag. So a lot of times I don't breathe through my nose, I breathe through my mouth. Breathe through my mouth. But yeah, we got 29 minutes, and we're gonna wait, and we're gonna wait, and we're gonna wait. So, I mean, it's gonna be fun. Yeah, I'm gonna stay live until it's ready. I'm not going nowhere, buddy. I'm not going nowhere. She was just asking me, can I cook it any faster? And I'm like, well, I can blow on it, but you know, there's no point on blowing on it because it's not gonna actually make it cook faster. It's gonna make it actually, it's not gonna do anything. So this is what I'm gonna do until then. Because I got a full beer, I am gonna show you guys something else what I like to do. We actually don't have the proper mixes, but I'm gonna show you what one of my mixes is that I like to have on occasion. And today for me is kind of like an occasion because for the simple fact, 2 weeks ago I got my license. Was it 2 weeks or a week? 2 weeks, right? Yeah, about 2 weeks ago I got my license, so I'm still really happy about that. Next weekend I'm probably going to buy a car, so I'll be showing you guys that when I drop it off. I'm going to do a live stream and show you guys my new car, and it's going to be a used one, of course, because I mean, I like the older ones better anyways. They're more reliable. The new ones, there's too much technology, and the chips will break down and shit, and it just causes you a big old headache. So let me show you one of my mixes. Now, Coach, if you're watching, I know you'll like it. So 2 cups. So we'll put it back down right here. Now I'm not really sure how many people drink, but you know, this is what I'm going to show how. I'm just going to show how I make a mix. So you got some 7-Up, you got some orange juice, and my absolute favorite kind of gin, Tanqueray. So you get These are 2-ounce shot glass. The first thing you want to make sure is you give it a little bit of a spank. Then you want to be able to pour, that's about 2 ounces right there. You want to be able to put at least 4 ounces in. So that's about right there. There we go, we got that mixed. Or we got that poured, I mean, not mixed. Then you want to take your orange juice. Stuff smells like pine, I love it. Now I'll spread these out so you can actually see how much I'm pouring. Say about that much. That much orange juice. And then you got your 7-Up. And you just want to top it off. Now if I had some missing pineapple juice and maraschino cherries, which would be really great. And that's it. Here's to ya. Let's have it go. Oh yeah. Good stuff. It's perfect. So we got 24 minutes, not bad. So that right there took a few minutes just to make a drink. So you got to be able to tie times into whatever you're cooking. I mean, sometimes you want to be able to have a little bit of a mixed drink or any kind of drink, don't matter. It doesn't have to be alcoholic. It can be alcohol free. One of these days I'll have to show you guys how I make my beer batter fish and chips. I'll have to show you how I make my what is that? My seafood jambalaya, but this time I'm going to revise my recipe. I'm going to get some white wine and I'm going to make it properly this time. It hasn't really been turning out too great because normally I would use white wine in a seafood jambalaya, but I always forget to get some. Last time I made seafood jambalaya, it didn't turn out as good as I wanted to because it was missing that taste of the white wine. So next time I do it, I'm going to stream that and I'm going to show you guys exactly what I do. I usually buy mixed packages of seafood because you want to save money. That's the best way to go. I mean, you got to get scallops, you got to get prawns, you got to get crab meat, you got to get freaking mussels, you got to get, there's just a variety of seafood you can get. If you get them all separately, you're looking at a lot of money. If you get it all fresh, it's probably going to break your wallet unless you're rich. So I mean, it turns out, and it turns out really great. But we're looking at a good time when it comes to the scallops. These are going to turn out really good. So I'll have to show you guys that, and once it's ready, of course, I am going to shut the stream down so I can eat. And not long after that, I'm going to get some GTA going and play some GTA and have some fun with the boys. I mean, why not? We're having lots of fun, hanging out, cooking right now. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. If there's something that you'd want to see, leave it in the comments below, or while you're in here live, you can ask me live. So there you go. This is cooking with Toodun, the very first one. So this is what I'm going to do. I am going to lay out all my ingredients and face the camera towards it. That way you guys can see everything that I used. You can use different ingredients. Like I said, this is just what I like to use. Make sure you smell each spice before you use it. I don't need to do that anymore because I'm so used to using all my spices at the same time, like all the time. So you won't have to really worry about that too much. Yeah. What about that stuff for tequila sunrise? The red, oh, grenadine? No, I don't use grenadine. That's just for tequila sunrises. I don't use grenadine. There we go. No, I only use that stuff if I'm gonna do tequila sunrises, man. Okay guys, I'll be right back. Does he? It smells good, doesn't it? Okay, so I'm back now. So just had to step outside for a minute and of course, you know, do what I do. I guess you really need to see the Liam Perrins, but there it is again. We have roughly 17 minutes left before, you know, I take the lid off. I'll show you guys what it looks like. I'll show you guys what it looks like at the 35-minute mark. That way you know that it's cooking properly. I'm actually going to check it right now. I'm just going to turn on the oven light. I'm not going to open it, because if you open it, it slows down the cooking process. So you just turn on your light and have a look. Because I'm using a casserole dish, it's glass, so I'll be able to see it without even opening the door. So it's right around the right temperature. The whipping cream is melted to the proper consistency. So within the next 15 minutes, it'll be bubbling really good, and then we will take the lid off and we'll just let it finish. We'll let it brown and we'll let it finish off cooking just like that. I'm hoping to do a lot more. I plan on doing a lot more. I mean, I enjoy cooking. I enjoy my job. I like playing games. I like doing anything that keeps me occupied and creative. And as a cook, I am actually pretty creative. I come up with my own recipes all the time. My woman here, she's usually the guinea pig. New recipe, she's the first one that gets to try it. And if she don't like it, that means I have to revive my recipe. She usually lets me know if I put too much of one thing in, and we just go from there. And usually the next time I'll make it even better. So just keep in mind, it's not going to be perfect the first time. If it is, good job. If not, keep working at it and do what you do the best you can, and make sure that it's done the way you want it to be. But that is how I do my preparation and cook. Like I said, it usually takes a little while because I like to make sure that everything is properly mixed and properly seasoned. I never just sprinkle things together and call it a day. I always make sure everything's properly mixed. Because when you're going to Flavor Town is the only place you're going to be going if it's properly mixed. If it's not properly mixed, you're thinking like, this is gross, this guy doesn't know what he's doing. You got to keep in mind, you got to mix everything together. You got to make sure that it's mixed properly. Always make sure your vegetables are mixed together if you're doing a dish like this, because that way that the flavor spreads out. You're seasoning the same thing, make sure that's all spread out. Never over season, always season just right. Unless, like I said, unless you like garlic. I could have used fresh garlic, but we don't have any. If I used fresh garlic, I probably would have used 8 cloves. For a dish like this, probably would have been 8 cloves. But I wouldn't have been able to mix it. I would have to mix it with the chicken and the bacon, or I would have to mix it with the vegetables. So you can actually do either way. But if you're using nothing but powders, the best way to do it is to mix it with your proteins, because that way when everything starts to steam and everything, all those spices rise up and they coat everything. That's why I put that bottom layer on the very bottom of the casserole dish. That way when it starts cooking and it heats up, all that flavor is going to rise and go right through the potatoes and the onions and the peppers and everything. Everything is just going to go right through everything. And then once it's done, you're going to be like totally in Flavor Town. Now, what a lot of people like to do is they like to add cheese as a top coating. I do that. I haven't been doing it lately because, well, I'm not that big of a cheese fan. It's a little too greasy for me. It makes my stomach really upset. I'm also lactose intolerant, so using whipping cream, yeah, I'm pushing the freaking boundaries there, but a lot of that stuff gets cooked out, so I'm okay, but not too bad. I mean, it varies. But if you if you keep in mind everything that you do, it's going to turn out the exact way that you want it. Just take your time, make sure everything goes the way that you want it to go. If you're in a rush, I don't recommend making a dish like this unless you pre-cut everything the night before or the day before. Next vid can be a barbecue sauce. No, that is a hell no. I ain't never sharing that recipe with anybody. My woman's the only one that knows that recipe. She can't get it down pat, but she can try. But I am not sharing that recipe ever. I will step aside and I will I'll actually pre-mix the barbecue sauce. I'll just give you one ingredient that I used that I put in it, and I'll just show it, but I am not sharing that. I'm not sharing that recipe. Sorry, man. Never, ever, ever. I have 27 flavors of barbecue sauce. If you're able to crack one of my recipes, then you pretty much cracked all of them. So that is a big no. I ain't sharing that recipe. Sorry, dude. It don't work like that, man. No, barbecue sauce is my baby. So we had another 6 minutes go by. Let's flip on the light again and have another look-see to see if I see the right temperature happening on the inside of the oven. For ribs or something. Yeah, I'll do ribs. Like I'm gonna pre-make the barbecue sauce for that. I'm not gonna stream that. I can stream the rub. What I will do. Okay, there's usually a big process to when I do ribs. Okay, there's usually a brine that I make or a dry rub. It depends on how I feel, and it depends what kind of flavor I want people to experience. And it's a huge process. It all depends. Okay, like if I want to have a real good barbecue, I will actually marinate my ribs for 5 days. 5 days. I'll do a dry rub sometimes for 7 days. It all depends on how I want it to turn out. I can actually show that. I will actually stream my preparation and what I do when it comes to preparing for a barbecue. Now, a lot of these barbecue shows you see, they only do it for like 24 hours and stuff. I don't. I like to go for the maximum amount of time that I can. So if you're doing a brine, you can do it for 5 days. You can actually do it for longer, but I do it for 5 days. Dry rub, I'll do it for 7, because that dry rub will protect the pork and it'll keep it nice and flavorful and wholesome at the same time. So I'm gonna have a look at the scalloped potatoes. So we have bubbling, which is good. So that's really good. So for the next 8.5 minutes, just gonna let it sit there, and then I'm crossing my fingers, I can take off that lid. I might actually let it sit in there for maybe another 5 to 10 minutes just to be safe. I want to make sure that those potatoes are cooked perfectly. Sometimes it depends on your dish, really. I mean, like even your oven, if your oven isn't that great, it might take a little bit longer. Can we talk to her for a minute? I don't know. I can't say for sure. That's entirely up to her. She's giving me that look, so that might possibly be, I don't know. Say yeah or no. No, she said no. Sorry, dude. She's not too keen on getting on the camera and stuff. She could do a lot of selfies and stuff, but actual live stream stuff, no. Kim says hi. Kimmy? Art's on here. She says hi. She says thanks for cleaning my kitchen. When I'm here, it's my kitchen. Just so you know. Any kitchen I go into when I'm cooking is my kitchen. It don't matter whose house it is. It could be the president of the I'm not even gonna say that because I'm not a Trumpleberry. It could be the Queen's house. Okay, she asked me to cook something. I walk into the kitchen. That's now my kitchen because I'm cooking. So that kitchen belongs to me. Wherever I cook, that's my kitchen. But I'm trying to decide. Like, I don't know. I might actually, I don't know what I'm making tomorrow, so I'm not sure if I'm actually going to stream tomorrow. Probably going to be something simple. But next weekend, you can guarantee that I will be streaming another cooking episode. We're just going to keep on going with this because my creativity when I cook is just pretty good. I mean, she's really impressed. She loves it. She loves the way I cook. When I go away and I go back to work, she always tells me that she has a hard time eating because I'm not here cooking. What, son? Yeah? Yeah? So we are happening. We got 5 minutes left over. I don't know if I'm really feeling this 25 or 35 minute though. I don't think that's long enough, so I think I'm actually gonna wait another 10 minutes just to be safe because I really want those potatoes to be nice and tender before I take the lid off. So that'll actually give it a total of 45 minutes and another 10. I'm just gonna do 10 minutes without the lid on, and I might actually raise the temperature to 385 just so I could get that nice browning. So you're going to actually hear another beep, beep, beep. I'm not going to take it out. I'm just going to push the temperature up to 385. And then as soon as it stops beeping, when it does the preheat thing, it's actually almost done. Because it's going to start browning. As you can hear my son is gabbing away. Yeah? Oh, really? So have you look, see? This is my boy. He's really, really gabby. Say hi. Hi. Say hi. Hi. Say hi. Say hi. Yum 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 yum. Who's that? That's my son. That's my junior. He's streaming now. Yeah, he's streaming now. Start him young. Oh, you want to see it again? He's already addicted. He's like, yeah, I want to get back on the camera again. But I'm also planning, I don't know if any of you know, but I got a 41st birthday coming up, and I will be streaming that, and I might possibly be doing a brisket. You want to see again? You want to see again? Yeah? Okay, my son wants to say hi again, so we're going to let him say hi again. Say hi. Let's say hi. A big, huge smile. Hey. Hey. You're in a picture, babe.
Hey. Hey.
Hey.
Hey. Hey. Hey, the way.
Oh yeah?
Hey.
It's cool, isn't it? Supposed to say hi.
Hi. Hi. Hi. Hi. Hey.
So yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy.
Hey. Hey. Hey.
Good job, buddy. He's like, hey, you took the camera away. Rage Gamer, how's it going, man? Yeah, I seen your comment. Depends what comment you're talking about, bud. Oh, Junior. So, like I said, I got a 41st birthday coming up in May. So, I'm actually planning on doing a brisket. And it's going to be really interesting because if you don't know how big a brisket is actually really large. Yeah, Jackie, how's it going? Oh. I think he's addicted to the camera. He wants to get more FaceTime. Oh, he's getting upset now. He wants more FaceTime. What do you guys think? You think I should give him more FaceTime? Maybe have you guys talk to him for a little bit. He obviously can't read yet. So, oh, we have beep. Okay, so we got bubbling all around the casserole dish. Everything is finally starting to bubble, so which is actually really late. 35 minutes for it to start to bubble. So we are going to push it for another 10 minutes before I pop the lid off. So I'm going to go ahead and reset the timer for another 10 minutes. I lied. I did it for 12. I usually like to push those couple extra minutes. Jeez. Huh? You really want to see? Yeah? Okay. My son, huh? My son wants some FaceTime, so I'm going to let you guys have some FaceTime with him. He's seen himself, and now he's enjoyed it. He's like his dad. He's really photogenic, and he likes the camera. So I'm gonna put him in front of the camera and let you guys hang out with my son for a minute. Buffering. Yeah? No, really? This way, look. There you are. Yeah, why is it buffering? Oh, it smells so good. Yeah? Why is it buffering? What's going on? Sorry guys, everything seems to be buffering. I don't know why, so just be patient. It's back on now.
Where's that?
Mm-hmm. I don't know why it's being like that. As soon as I lift it up, it starts doing that. I face it down, it starts freaking loading. Yeah, as soon as I do that.
Fire!
Let's try facing you this way then. But if you guys get this, I'll be right back. Everything's doing that. Hmm? No, I'm waiting for it to stop. Oh! I'm trying to lift up the chair a bit. So he stops pushing it on top of his shoe, so on top of your shoe, so it doesn't. Be right back, guys.
Alright, man, talk to you later. You Jared, take over yet. What do you think, guys? And then okay, that's enough. Quit doing that. Grab from down here. Hey, watch a cartoon now, okay? Okay, so we got consistent bubbling around the entire casserole dish. It is actually nice and bubbled. So we have a minute and a half left. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you guys what it looks like before I take the lid off, so you know that it's at the right consistency. And then we're gonna do the last 15 minutes, 10-15 minutes of we're gonna brown the top. So I'm gonna raise the temperature up to 385, and then we're gonna go ahead and let that sucker brown. Hopefully it's gonna brown to the right way that I want it to. For some reason this oven's being weird. It took 30 minutes for it to bubble, and which is a long time. That's actually longer than actually using a stove. So keep in mind, if your temperature on your oven is not working properly, just turn it up a bit. Turn it up by at least about 15 degrees, and I can guarantee you it's gonna go by a lot faster. Try not to push it too hard. Don't go above 385 when you're doing a dish like this, because if you go above 385,
it's going to cook too fast, and all it's going to do is burn. You want to be able to bring it down to a good temperature before you actually raise it. As soon as you raise it, it's usually when you want to brown it. I wouldn't recommend putting it on broil to brown it, because if you put it on broil, all it's going to do is just going to burn the dish. So our timer just went off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the camera over and I'm going to show you guys what it looks like as it's cooking right now. Oh, that smells so good. It's not. Okay, so that's what we're looking for. We're looking for the proper consistency. Everything seems to be going by just perfect. It looks really good. It is steaming really good, so you know that it's actually cooked properly. So we just took the lid off, and now we are going to go ahead and finish it off by leaving the lid off, and we're going to start browning it. So what I like to do is I like to turn the dish sideways, that way that, I don't know, it's just something I like to do. So we are now at 385. So I took the lid off and we're going to leave it like that for another 10 to 15 minutes, and then we are going to Flavor Town. I will actually take out a scoop and present it on a plate and show you guys exactly how it's supposed to look, and then I'm going to cut the stream down and call it quits for a little bit until after I eat, because I'm not going to stream me stuffing my face with my own meal. I don't want you guys to see how much of a vacuum cleaner I am. We sit here and talk more and more and more until for another 15 minutes until it's done. And then once it's done, like I said, I'm going to cut the stream down, eat, and then get some GTA going. Junior's getting really hungry, so he can smell it. Yeah, it's past his, it's pretty much his bedtime right now, but because I started at 5 preparing and I was done at 6. I went in the oven at just a little after 6, so it's been just about an hour. So, but keep in mind, sometimes that's how long it takes. So if you cook at home and you do a meal like this, like I said, make sure you do your preparation the night before, or do it before you leave in the morning. It only takes a few minutes if you want it to go by fast, but make sure that you just do it properly and everything's good to go. Sometimes I pre-prep everything the night before, sometimes, but because I only got the weekends right now, I have to do everything as I go, and I have to make sure that everything's good to go before I even put it in the oven or on the stove or whatever. But like I said, I will be doing more of these, and you guys are gonna see what all kinds of stuff that I cook. I'll even show you guys my spaghetti, I'll show you my chili, I'll show you my chicken, I'll show you cream of chicken soup, thank you. My cream of chicken soup. Anything that I know I love to cook, that I know how to cook really, really well, I'm gonna stream it. Huh? I'm not a baker. She said wheat brownies. Dark man, how's it going, man? Kinda, maybe. Thanks for joining, bud. I mean, you're just in time for the last 15 minutes, and I'll be cutting the stream out for a short amount of time, so I can get some GTA going after I eat. So we got another 15 minutes, and then
we're gonna go ahead and cut the stream down after it's ready. Probably wait an extra 5 minutes because that's usually what I like to do to make sure that it's done properly, and I'm hoping to get the right kind of browning. Keep in mind when you do something like this, there's always going to be lots of liquid inside of it. So like I said, you use one of these and you suck out all that liquid and you dispense it, and you can keep it if you want, put it in a cup, and you can actually use it as a gravy if you would like. But oh, your phone was glitched? Oh, that's too bad, buddy. But yeah, you can do anything with the sauce that you like, but just keep in mind you can only keep it for 24 hours. After 24 hours you have to get rid of it because the cream will coagulate and it'll start getting really thick and it'll turn sour. So you don't really want that. Even though it's cooked, it don't really matter. After 24 hours you got to get rid of it. Any kind of dairy product after it's been cooked, after 24 hours you have to get rid of it, or else it can make you sick. It can make your belly, like it make you crap lots, or it can make you vomit, you know. Mainly it'll make you crap lots. But we're gonna do this probably, I'm thinking every weekend or whenever I cook. It's a pretty good idea. You know, my buddy Rock came up with it. He said, you know, what am I making? I'm making right now chicken and bacon scallop potatoes with red, yellow, and orange peppers. So you'll be able to go back to the beginning and watch the video and check everything out. I don't know how long this has been going right now, so because the time never shows up on here, I don't have no idea. Oh, 32 minutes ago? It said I started 32 minutes ago. I've been streaming since freaking 5:30-ish. YouTube's wonky.
Get some Parmesan to go in there next time, that'll thicken it up.
Yeah, yeah. That's a good idea. But what I would like to do is Monterey Jack. That's my favorite cheese. I think Monterey Jack with a dish like this would be killer. Yeah, it sounds so fucking good. It does, doesn't it? It does. I know it smells killer right now, man. Like the aroma that's coming from this dish right now is just, it's just unbelievable. It's really, really like. I want to let you guys know too that I use bacon. Bacon is life. Bacon with me is like every single dish that I make besides, I don't know, certain things, but bacon goes in everything that I cook because bacon is just, bacon is life, man. Bacon is life. Oh, my bacon wrapped meatloaf. Rib preparation, steak preparation, all that kind of good. Lasagna. Oh, I can't stream that though, because that's for your grandma's birthday. I can't stream that unless it's over here. Maybe we should just have it here. Just so they can get out. Something to think about. Fuck, all I got was bacon. Ooh, what the fuck? I just ate bacon. Bacon and cereal. Yeah, buddy. Bacon ice cream. I don't know about that. Sprinkle bacon on top of ice cream. There you go. Yeah? No, you can't be on camera right now. No. No. My son really wants to get back on camera. Okay, so we still got our proper bubbling.
I'll be right back. Gotta steal that idea. Yeah. Remember, your wife likes chicken with pickles. That's right. That's right. That's right. That one night, yeah. You're having pickles with your chicken. Yeah, chicken sandwich. You made a chicken sandwich or something, and you wanted pickles with it. And you put pickles with it. You don't remember that? She don't remember that, Rock. She don't remember that. Okay, I'm gonna go have fun and eat good. Okay, buddy. But yeah, you guys next time I do one of these, you guys are gonna be freaking drooling really hardcore because my next meal that I'm gonna be streaming is gonna be really, really good. Look, it looks like I have an idea. Look, see? I have an idea. Hmm? What? Hang on, I just got an idea. Here we go. This is an idea. Too bad you can see the reflection. Babe, can you grab me something heavy enough to hold this? Hold the computer up.
My nice clean oven, guys.
glass. Okay. Sorry about the reflection on the stove. We got a minute and a half left, so they're getting pretty well ready to show you guys the after. It's not really browning because of all the liquid that's in it, so but it's still going to turn out the same way. The potatoes are still going to be nice and tender and everything, so I'm not going to have to worry about that too much. But yeah, it always turns out anyways. It always turns out. I mean, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. All the liquid that's inside of it is always going to keep it from browning because it keeps on popping up and all that stuff. Like I said, you can always use one of these, and through halfway of your cooking you can suck out all the juices and make sure that it browns. I don't really like to do that because I like to have the juices in there, because it's gonna dry out if you don't have it. So normally what I would do is I would just leave it in there and then just go off of that, because it's still gonna taste really good. I gotta put the chair away. I'll be right back. There we go. What? What? Yeah, once it sits there. Oh, dang it. So our timer just went off. We are going to pull it out of the oven, and we're going to have a look-see. I'm going to show you guys what it looks like. God, that sure smells good. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, buddy. Just going to check to make sure that the potatoes are going to fall apart as soon as I poke them with a fork. As soon as they do, it's 100% ready. You'll know that right away. Oh yeah. Yep. That is ready. Okay, so we have great consistency. I'm going to show you guys. This is the after effect, aftermath of after it's done. So I am going to actually serve a bit, and then I'm going to give you guys another shot of what it looks like after you serve it. That way you know that, look, this is how you do it, and this is going to be really yummy. So I'm going to serve some, and then I'll give you another shot, and then I'm going to end the stream because we hungry, and you guys are probably going to get hungry after watching, so let's just do that. Okay, so this is what it looks like when it's served. So, thank you for joining me on this very first cooking with Toodun. And as you can see, how it turns out after is always going to be good. When you go taste it, it's going to taste even better. I wish I could edit this video so that I can just put all the sections in at the same time so I can make it shorter. But just so you guys know, watch this video if you want the recipe. It's not going away. I'm not going to post all the ingredients in the description because there ain't no point. You got to watch the video. Like I said, thanks for joining me on this first one. The next one, I can't tell you what it is I'm going to be making, but you can be rest assured that it's going to be something even, I can't say even better, because everything tastes good that I cook. Everything I cook is really good. So just keep in mind, keep an open mind. Remember, cook safe, be safe, and you're never wrong. Enjoy and have fun. This is Toodun saying thank you for joining me on this first cooking episode. Peace.